Hello and welcome to Foreign Correspondent. I'm Stephen McDonnell. There are hundreds of thousands of North Koreans hiding in China tonight. If they're lucky, they're being helped by local ethnic Koreans. They're living in safe houses and are protected. If they're unlucky, they'll be picked up by Chinese police and sent back to North Korea, where they could be tortured or even worse. The Chinese cities which border North Korea are swimming in Korean language, food and culture. The area is home to 2 million ethnic Koreans, including local Chinese citizens, South Koreans and those from the north. North Korean restaurants are popular in the area. The staff, as well as waiting on tables, are performers. It's a privileged job for a North Korean citizen to be allowed to work overseas.
저는 조선민주주의 인민공화국 평양시에서 왔으며 우리 자국의 크나큰 신임과 믿음 속에 여기 중국에 파견되어 왔습니다.
These waitresses come to work in China for 3 years. They're watched closely. If they go shopping, the women go in groups to make sure nobody runs off.
저는 여기 와서 마을 궁지를 가지고 있습니다. 저희들의 공연을 보러 또 우리 평양 처녀를 보러.
This is the image the North Korean government promotes to the outside world. The lives of ordinary citizens couldn't be more different. Ten years ago, these pictures of starving North Korean children shocked the international community. It was the height of the famine. Scenes like this were common throughout North Korea, and hundreds of thousands of people died. A similar number fled the country.
제일 바쁠 때는 안개라 사람들이 정말 못 먹는 사람도 많았고 정말 하루에 밥 한 끼 먹기 힘든 사람들도 많았고.
Only 4 years ago, foreign embassies in Beijing were being besieged by North Koreans seeking asylum. Those caught by the Chinese authorities were rounded up and sent back.
For a North Korean to leave his country without a passport and without a visa is a capital crime. It's not just traveling without a document or whatever, and you might have your passport revoked. This is the equivalent of a capital crime.
To find out if the lives of North Koreans are still bad enough to warrant a high-risk escape, we travelled to China's border in search of those who've crossed the frontier. Just across the Tumen River is North Korea. The view from China reveals conditions are still very poor. To protect their lives, we've hidden the identities of North Koreans who are brave enough to speak out. A young woman who recently escaped says many of her neighbours and former classmates have defected. She came to China looking for a better life.
먹고 입는 것 때문에 진짜 사람들 목숨 걸고 이게 왔다 가면서 되게 많이 잡혀서 고생하고 죽고 하는 사람 얼마나 많습니까? 그렇다고 먹고 살자고 다 그렇게 하는 게 된다.
Another woman came to marry a Chinese man whose photo she'd been given.
6년도, 7년도 그때부터 좀 우리 집 생활이 좀 바빠서 그래서 작곡밥에 그저
The lion's share of our work is to shelter North Korean defectors who have fled to China because of malnutrition, oppression, political persecution. These are the new, easy-to-read New Testaments for the North Koreans.
Christian activist Tim Peters is the founder of Helping Hands Korea. For 10 years, he's operated out of South Korea to help North Koreans escape.
We're now having these Bibles shipped. And I think people in their 20s and 30s, they look around and they go, there's really no future for me in North Korea. What is there for me to do? It's paralysis. It's people eking out something for the following day or the following month. And young people who aspire to something better, many of them are going, I'm going to risk everything to get out of here.
우리 그냥 나만을 다니다니까 그 군대들이 있는 시간 없는 시간 안단 말입니다. 그래가지고 없는 시간에 이렇게 왔단 말입니다. 그 순간엔 아무리 추워도 아예 죽신다. 그거 무서워가지고 진짜 가슴 졸며 이렇게 오다가니 아무리 되게 추워도 아예 죽신다. 그 순간에는 죽다는 느낌 받을 시간이 없다고.
A North Korean construction worker told us he came to China to make some money.
그때는 우리는 난 도무 따라왔기 때문에 그 도무 하자는 대로 건너왔는데 이게 불씨를 건너라면 같이 건너서 한번 건너는 게 그러니까 나는 그저 같이 우리는 그저 물에 빠져서 배꼽까지 오는 물을 있지 건너 와가는 그다음 냈다 떼야 된다니까 그저 떼고.
Most North Koreans who flee protect their families by not telling anyone they're going to leave. They go in winter to use the ice, and many pay off the border guards. Crossing the river has always been dangerous, but in recent months there are reports that the area is becoming even more fortified.
One of the more troubling signs that we're seeing at the border on the Chinese side is that there are cameras, a proliferation of cameras, bright floodlights, heat and motion sensors. And another very recent and gravely troubling development is that there are pictures of North Korean soldiers carrying sniper rifles. And they're patrolling with dogs, which we didn't see in the past.
The river between China and North Korea is the border, and along its banks there are military guard posts and spotting towers. Even when this river's not frozen over, the water is very cold. But if fleeing North Koreans can make it across the water and into this low bushland, they've got a fairly good chance of making it over the hills and blending in. Along the border area is China's Korean autonomous region called Yanbian. Just looking like the locals here,